Hey guys, it's your girl Alicia, aka GeekXX Chic, and I'm back with another reaction to Titans. We are now on episode 10, which is called Fallen. I realize I am behind on these reactions, guys. I am so sorry about that, but a girl has had some busy weeks and weekends, so unfortunately I've not had the time to edit that I would normally like to dedicate. And as you can see, my hair has changed, which happens a lot on this channel, just FYI. And a girl's wash day is no joke. Sisters out there and brothers, you all know, wash day's not a joke. Unfortunately, it takes a lot of time. I try to multitask on days like that, but sometimes it takes a minute. So anyway, back to our regularly scheduled programming. We are now on episode 10. Last episode was really good. We kind of saw the fallout from Dick's confession to everybody. Basically, everyone was struggling with their own guilt as far as what happened with the Jericho incident, as well as trying to figure out what they're going to do, because Dick had kind of brought them all back together. Well, so did the idea of Deathstroke being back as well. The reality is, as much as they wanted to be angry at Dick and try to use him as the scapegoat for all of their feelings, the reality is they all have their own individual issues, and a lot of them are actually struggling with feeling like they have a purpose outside of Titans. But we know something's going to have to inevitably bring everybody back together. Deathstroke, his deal with Dick was that if, as long as Titans stay disbanded, he will not come for any of them, but if they ever do regroup formally, that he will kill them all. And so it's going to be interesting to see what that thing is that's going to push them all together regardless. Anyway, we're not going to know what's going to go on until we start watching this episode, so let's get into it and we will chat about it later, okay? Let's go. It's Richard Grayson. God, that really? Wow, that was cheap. But then again, so was that shot that Dick took in the airport, so... But we don't get a trial? No court date? Damn. 7 years, no really? For a white boy with no priors? Okay.
It's not safe for you to be around me anymore.
Crypto's like, I ain't going nowhere. Last time you left me, I got a kryptonite collar.
You might get hurt.
I have lasers in my eyes. Don't you be mean to him.
I said get the hell out of here, you stupid mutt. Go!
Oh, hell no. That's right. Hell no. Zap him. Zap him. There's no excuse to be mean to a dog. Especially one that flies and has lasers in its eyes.
Welcome to the West Wing.
Like the president? Did it ever occur to you he probably speaks Spanish? I mean, this is America. I'd expect a shank in your sleep there, Dick. Just saying. Who it is? Kory?
Hello? Who's there?
Oh, Bobby. It was like, you better let my ass in. You got him into this trouble. He was sleeping, we was eating cereal, and next thing you know, he's calling me a mutt.
Just calling back, okay?
Why? I thought y'all were mad at Dick. Why y'all calling him now? Back to life on the run, hey Rach?
There you go.
Talk about going from the penthouse to the street. Those curls though, where's he getting product in prison? Oh, that was three hair slicks on hair that was already slick. There's something going down. It is going down. Let's see if Dick really can stop being a vigilante slash cop.
I'm not helping you. You said we were good. We are.
Yeah, as in,
I'm not helping you.
I want nothing to do with you. Leave me alone, you weirdo.
You fucking with me again?
My girlfriend could literally burn you to death. Yes, prison workout time. See someone like holding his legs underneath. Your disguise is amazing. You're just about as bad as your counterpart.
I clawed him to pieces. So maybe we should both be locked up. What we do...
Not where I was going with that.
Other people. Do you really want to hurt somebody else?
This chick actually, yeah, she shot me.
Only downside is your lifespan's only 5 months. And you're green and scaly.
What? You're totally free. All your life.
I mean, I suppose that is definitely a glass half full way to look at a 5-month lifespan. Since you like to hit girls, you and the devil ought to be good friends. What? Why is that separate? Where are you going? How? What? Oh my God, she's gonna kill him. Trigon, you salty MF.
That'd kill me.
Wasn't quite where we thought you'd go with that, but thanks for the option. And the way the Trickter's trotting like, I brought him home even after he called me names.
No, they're gonna.
You really thought they weren't going to be able to follow you? Yeah, today. Try it again. No! That's right. That's right. Mess him up, Gar. Rude. Come in my house and break my damn windows when it ain't even my house. Oh, no, Gar, no. Wow, the place looks,
What is this place?
like a place.
I'm bored. Bored's better than dead. Take a nap.
You got told, son. Better lay your butt down and sit some sweet dreams.
This bird's supposed to save you. Where the hell has he been? Huh?
You know, Dick, you don't need to crap on other people's dreams because you're in a bad mood.
Gave you the gift of life, but only if it suited his needs, his purpose.
Because you're so much different. Okay.
Using you for their own ends was less concern for you or your welfare.
Damn.
Capital for
I want to be mad at this play, but she's spitting nothing but straight truth bars.
help you be everything you want to be.
So this is how he gets his other forms?
Dick, I need you to call me back.
Why? Y'all didn't need Dick like a day ago. Wow, this prisoner's amazingly clean. And his glasses. Impeccable.
I'm inside. Now.
Holy crap!
Call the medic!
He's already gone. There's no way he's surviving that.
And he means that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. He's giving me a chance to be something else. Maybe you're the one who's blind.
Yeah, Dick. You seem to forget that your rich white self will be fined in 7 years, which you're not even going to serve. Okay? Oh, they're planning to run from here? That's not smart. Wait till you're on the road. This isn't a metaphor. Well done, Grayson! Somebody call Kory. Mama needs to come home. The kids are completely out of control.
He says he wants to be a Titan. Reunited with his team. I think it's an excellent idea.
Oh, you think so, don't you? So wait, does this mean she could potentially bring the Wrath of Dexstroke to her door? Because I'm all about that, personally. All right, guys. Well, that was the latest episode of Titans, which was called Fallen. And yes, we are just still seeing more of these ripple effects of the Titans disbanding take form. We basically only focused on some of them. Obviously, we didn't get to see everybody, but we got to see in the last episode, as I mentioned, and in the review of last episode, I talked about, like, you know, a little bit like Hank and Dawn, their breakup. They're recognizing that they've got issues that had nothing to do with Dick or the Titans. And now we kind of went back to Rachel and Gar and Connor, who were left kind of in the disarray of everything. And it's interesting because, you know, I specifically said this is a ripple effect of them disbanding, not of Dick's lie or of what happened to Jericho, because quite frankly, that happened in the past. If anything, that has to do with maybe Dick and the old school Titans. But with these new young people and the new Titans, really the fact that everyone kind of felt the need to just walk away because they were in their huff about their feelings being hurt around Dick keeping secrets, they really did leave these three teenagers in an extremely vulnerable position. I keep forgetting, Jason Todd's still out there. We haven't even gotten back to him yet. We didn't see any of him, actually. But digressing, it's sad because I get it. Like, it's very realistic that, you know, again, the show doesn't talk about their names, their ages, but Dick and Donna and, you know, well, and maybe not Hawk and Dove, but Dick and Donna, I think, are only supposed to be like 26, 27. Like, they're quite young themselves. And then you've got Hank and Dawn that are a little bit older, but still not, you know, they don't have years of perspective and wisdom to offer here. So they're still very prone to being all in their own heads and only thinking about their situations. And everyone in the last episode and this episode, the adults is what I'm talking about, they were all very self-centered. Like they all really just thought about themselves, their feelings, how upset they were, and they gave very little consideration to how their actions and their walking off in their prospective directions to go and slam a door would affect these young people who were kind of pulled into this situation somewhat on a promise that Dick gave them, but also because they really have nowhere else to go, right? If you look at it, Connor, Rachel, Gar, and Jason, they're all people who have no one else, really. They're all alone in this world. So the Titans were like a family that they were in desperate need of, but also really wanted, and it just kind of blew up over this lie that happened long before they even showed up. Because in fairness, the kids didn't really have a lot of beef, or they shouldn't have had a lot of beef with Dick because they weren't around for the whole Jericho situation. But I understand that they're looking at Dick and the relationship he had with his first group of Titans, and the fact that they would have had that love and relationship with each other, and the fact that that trust was broken. Obviously, as teenagers, they're gonna just go by what they're seeing, right? They're gonna reflect what they see. So owning up to his truth finally was great. But even still, even now, instead of just owning up to it and then basically just, how do I put it? Like, Dick thinks he's atoning right now. Okay, let's go with Dick first. Let's go with Dick and his storyline here. He thinks he's atoning for what he did by getting himself arrested and thrown in prison. He feels like this is a great way, I'm assuming, this is my assumption, that he thinks this is a great way to avoid having to worry about the Titans or having to worry about anything getting back together. He's like, if I'm in jail for the next 10 years or whatever, great. That way, there's no physical way I can be with the Titans. Plus, I'll serve this time for letting this kid get killed, and everyone will ever be able to look back at me and say, oh, you didn't pay for what you did to this boy. Look, I served my time, right? But it's not the right motivation. Like Dick's actions are not really the right motivation, nor the way that I think if Jericho was still around would want the result of his death to end up, if that makes sense. The reality is, as humans, we have to learn to forgive ourselves, because it's not a matter of saying that what we did was right. And Dick, if he forgives himself, it doesn't mean that anything that he did with Jericho in that situation was right, but he needs to move on. Like, he's still a good, valuable, smart person who has got a lot to offer in this world. But if we keep ourselves stuck on the mistakes that we've made in the past that we cannot change, Dick being in jail right now, letting himself get beat up and aiding and abetting criminal activity is not doing anything to change the fact that Jericho is dead, right? It's just compounding an issue that doesn't need to be there. So he needs to forgive himself and just accept the fact that he did the best with what he knew at the time. And that's all life is, right? Like, I love that part where Rachel's talking to that girl and she's like, you know, we think adults have all the answers, and we find out that they just, you know, they're just struggling along with the rest of us. And that's just the reality. With Dick, 5 years ago, he was a different person with different values and different experience, and he made a really bad choice, which ended in the way that it did. But he's not that person anymore, and he doesn't have to be that person anymore. So beating himself up over something that can no longer be changed, it doesn't benefit anybody. As I said, it doesn't bring Jericho back. It doesn't change the past. So this whole thing that he thinks he's atoning for, it's not. And again, as we saw, this whole thing was about Dick trying to be something that he's not. He's trying to act like, oh, I don't care about anybody. Oh, let these guys go ahead and they're going to get themselves killed. Oh, I'm not going to help anyone. Like, that's not Dick. It's never been Dick. We saw just a few episodes ago that he's someone, when he sees people in need, particularly young people who need help, everything in his being wants to help them. So him trying to act like he's this nonchalant, non-caring person is just, it's nonsense. It's crazy talk. And as we saw at the end, he couldn't even do it. When he saw that these two were clearly going to end up getting killed or worse, trying this really bad attempt at a prison break, he just couldn't let himself sit by idly and let them die. In the end, it just proved, I'm hoping that the good to come out of it is that Dick has realized he's not ever going to be someone who can turn his back on doing the right thing when he knows what the right thing is. And while a prison break wasn't the right thing, I kind of like that the show very mildly touched on a very deep issue that's happening with the whole immigration situation. I'm not going to get into it too much because it's a very touchy and very emotional and personal topic to a lot of people, and I personally don't have perspective on it from that place. But I did say a lot in the reaction that, you know, Dick was coming from a place that he just doesn't understand. You know, Dick is part of it, of course, was him trying to be blasé about the whole situation, but it's also a blindness that a lot of white people have when it comes to the situation for people who are not white and the way that they're treated in the system versus how they are. You know, I said it in the reaction, like Dick only getting 7 years for assaulting a federal officer in public. Like, first of all, highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. Reality is, if this had been real, he probably would not have even gone to a federal prison. He might have gotten probation, especially if he didn't already have a record. Again, it just shows you that if that had been one of those Latinos, or if it had been a black person, we all know that person probably wouldn't have made it out of the airport. Let's be real. So it's just that blindness that he has to their situation of, oh, just stay here. You know, they had to explain it to him. They had to spell it out. Like, dude, we can't. If we're deported back to where we came from, we're going to be killed by the gangs that we escaped. And if we stay here, we're going to get killed in prison. So we've got to make a break for it. Like the guy said in the end, if I die tomorrow, then at least I died trying to do something better than wait for someone to kill me. Something that obviously Dick doesn't understand for two reasons. One, as I said, he is a white male, which is a very nice place to be when you're in the United States. And two, as someone who also is trained by one of the best vigilantes in the world, like, it's pretty hard to kill Dick. It was just a really interesting, like, little slice of a very deep topic that they touched on in there. But anyway, as I said, I really hope that this whole thing that he went through will help him recognize that this is not him and it will never be him. He will have to find some way to forgive himself, but for him to go forward and to be a better person and to help people, because as we've seen in this episode, if it said nothing else, Dick is absolutely the linchpin of this group. And I don't even think the rest of the Titans realized how much of a linchpin that Dick has been for them. And obviously Kory too, and I mean, we're going to get into Kory and the fact that she wasn't here. But, you know, these two, the mom and dad were not present and the kids are wilding right now. This is basically what this episode could be summed up in 2 minutes. Is basically, mom and dad are gone, the kids are wild and they need to be back. So like I said, I hope we got that out of the whole situation. As I also mentioned at the beginning, like, honestly, this is Bruce Wayne's protege. If Dick wants to get out of jail, he will be out in a matter of minutes. All he needs to do is let Bruce know that he's in there and he will be out. He just needs to recognize that he needs to get out of prison, that this is not the right place for him, and that he is still very much needed by the other Titans at a minimum. So that's kind of Dick's whole thing. We'll have to see how it goes. Talking about Rachel, there is not a whole lot there outside of the fact that she's clearly just feeling very displaced right now. That's the biggest thing I can think of. We know she's been struggling with this stuff with Trigon. We really haven't touched on it much since the beginning of the season, which I think is a bit sad. I think we could have still been getting little inklings of what's going on with her as we're dealing with the rest of this story. But yeah, I think her dealing with that, along with realizing that Dick is not maybe the altruistic person that she's kind of put him up to be, she's just struggling to kind of figure out where she fits. And we saw her kind of fighting, like, she never really got along with Jason, let's be real, but she was kind of fighting with Gar a bit towards the end too. So I think she's feeling very discombobulated at the moment and she just doesn't know how to handle it. And so going back to what she knows, which is being a runaway and having no one and nothing, is what she thinks is going to work. But I think she's going to realize very quickly she's not that girl anymore. She's not running for her life the way she was the first time. She ended up stumbling on this group of kids who, we'll have to see what that's about. I'm not sure. Maybe there's a comic reference to who these children are. I'm not sure. But she kind of ended up inadvertently being in a place where she might be able to help kids that look like they were being exploited by whoever that guy was. And that's the big question I have, is I don't know whether or not that was Rachel's intent to kill that man, or if Trigon is somehow going off and doing things on his own because she still hasn't figured out how to control it. I'm not sure. It could be a little of both, to be perfectly honest. I think Rachel has a special place in her heart for people who hurt children. So looking at what happened, I almost wonder if she was trying to pull it back and realizing that she couldn't, or that something was off with it. Again, I don't think she knows that this man is dead. I honestly don't think that she did that conscientiously, but we'll have to see. But if it is a matter of Trigon going rogue, then obviously it's going to point out that Rachel does need to learn how to figure out how to contain Trigon's presence with her powers. And as I think I said way back in the beginning of the season, I know that in the comics, Rachel had to be practically emotional neutral in order to keep her Trigon side in check. We'll have to see. Maybe she's going through some other stuff that we'll figure out as well that's a little bit on the darker side. But I'm interested to see what this group of kids is about and how it's going to all fit in with what's going on with Titans, or if they're all going to fit in any way. And then finally onto the Gar Connor situation. I really feel bad for Gar. I said this in the last episode. I mean, yeah, he messed up in the sense of he should have just called Bruce the way that he was told. But like I said, I talked a lot in the last review about why I empathize with him and why I understand why he didn't do it. This poor kid, like, I'm so over Gar getting screwed. Like, it has been the theme of this show so far, and usually it's the black chick who goes through this in a show. Thankfully my girl Kory didn't have to go through as much, but my man Gar is just going through it. This is like the third time as many like season like that we've seen Gar get captured by someone and caged or collared in some way, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of Gar being the one who gets captured and experimented on. Can we not have this, please, again? I'm not okay with it. I also get where Connor's coming from. He, like I said, he just shouldn't be in the world right now. He needed some time. He needed older people to help him out. And again, with mom and dad not there, things just got out of control. But I completely understand why he turned himself in. He doesn't want to see more people get hurt. And we already know that Cadmus does not care. They will kill everybody. But I'm really interested in why this Mercy chick is so invested in the Titans and why she thinks she can bring them in. That's really cute. But she has no idea what Rachel can do, nor... Ooh, man, if she tries to get Rachel and Kory comes for her, I just... Kory has had enough. We saw it in the last episode. Kory is fed up. She's in a mood. And I think when she realizes how messed up things are, if she doesn't go and get Dick herself, I don't know what's going to happen. As I mentioned, Jason is the only one we have not caught up with since everyone broke out, so I expect that we're going to see more of that in the next episode and what's going on. I feel like in the next episode we're going to find out whether or not Rose is for sure working with her dad or not. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something happen where like we see where Rose's actual allegiances are and if she is going to try to pull Jason in, considering that he does have a thing for her anyway. I'm ready for us to figure out what's going to be the catalyst to bring everything back together. But whether or not they're back together because they're trying to get Connor and Gar out, or because somehow Cadmus manages to bring them all in, that'll be a hell of a season finale if we end with all of them being trapped in Cadmus. I'll be pissed, but it'll be interesting. So again, good episode. I'm glad we kind of have a little more information on what's going on with everyone. I feel like Donna was kind of not necessary, sadly, in this episode. Bless her, I love the actress, but she kind of didn't have a whole lot to do. But hopefully we'll get to see more of why she's instrumental. I feel like she's going to be the person to start pulling people back, but we'll have to see how that all goes. What did you guys think of the episode? How are you feeling about the season? How are we feeling about the pacing so far? And what do you think Cadmus is going to do? Do you think they're going to manage to get all the Titans or not? Please let me know your thoughts. You know I love reading your comments and getting involved with you when I can. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Again, I apologize for the lateness of these reactions, but thank you for hanging in there with me. Love you guys. If you like this video, please click like. And if you want to see more from this geeky face, please click subscribe. Until next time, see ya.